Hey y'all, Mortgage Investor here. Hope you're doing well. Today, let's discuss your sales contract. Let's discuss your sales contract. Now, let's preface this discussion with every state has a different sales contract when it comes to real estate. So the specifics of your state, you're gonna wanna discuss that with your agent or mortgage professional, attorney, title company. Become knowledgeable about your sales contract, I would say, before you even put in an offer. It's a scenario by scenario transaction. They're gonna vary widely. For instance, in Georgia, we currently have a due diligence period that can be separate than your appraisal and financing contingencies, whereas in other states, you may have all contingencies rolled into a due diligence period. So your local regulations are going to dictate some of the timelines. In general, your sales contract's going to be made up of the following: a sales price. That's fairly self-explanatory. Next would be if there's any earnest money deposit. Now, an earnest money is a good faith deposit. Earnest money amount, if it's even required at all, is going to be based on your specific market and any factors influencing that market at the specific time you are purchasing. Seller paid closing costs. Seller paid closing costs, like the sales price, pretty self-explanatory. Is the seller giving you any funds to help with some of the cost of purchasing the home? Now, due diligence and contingencies, I'm gonna kind of lump into one another because it varies state by state. Some states will have a single due diligence period which covers all contingencies necessary. Other states will have possibly a due diligence period and then other contingencies. In general, when we're talking about other contingencies outside of your due diligence period, we're talking about an appraisal contingency and a financing contingency. The appraisal contingency says, hey, you are purchasing this home for X amount of dollars. We're gonna send out a licensed appraiser to confirm that it is worth X numbers of dollars. We're not going to give you a $300,000 mortgage on a home that's only worth $200,000. It's a protection for you, for the lender to say, hey, the home is worth what you're choosing to purchase it for. The second portion would be our financing contingency. That says, hey, you qualify for this mortgage, so you have funds on hand if needed to close on this mortgage, and any other stipulations that's specific to your scenario. So due diligence and contingencies kind of roll together. You'll discuss that with your real estate agent about how your specific state handles those items. And the last thing, again, this will vary by state, but exhibits. So your mortgage may have exhibits. For instance, you may be required to have a lead paint exhibit depending on when the home was built. Some states will have a seller property disclosure exhibit, which the seller states, hey, I think the roof is so old, I think the HVAC is so old, things like that. Exhibits will vary, again, state to state, transaction to transaction. One final thing, actually, exhibits aren't the last thing because you may have amendments to the contract. As you work through home inspections, appraisals, everything like that, there may come an instance where you need to update a portion of the contract, and that would be done within an amendment. You can have multiple amendments to a contract. Again, it's gonna vary scenario to scenario. It's gonna vary scenario to scenario. It's gonna vary scenario to scenario. Now let's talk about negotiations. If you're using a real estate agent, they're gonna serve as the point of contact for your negotiations for either the listing agent or the buyer. Any offers, updates, amendments to the original offers would be made through your agent, and they would work on your behalf. You can choose to work without a real estate agent to purchase a piece of property. My opinion, and this is just purely an opinion, is if you are not familiar with real estate transactions or the market you are looking to purchase within, hire a local agent. And I say local because I wouldn't hire someone that is familiar with the Atlanta real estate market to go down and make offers for me in Savannah. You can always choose to work without a real estate agent, but you are taking on a lot of risk at that point. Again, a lot of this is gonna vary from transaction to transaction. Real estate agents, terms, everything like that. I've had contracts come in and they need to close in 10 business days. I've had contracts come in and they need to close in 120 business days. So each scenario is going to be different when it comes to that sales contract. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help you guys. It's free 99, you know, take it how you will. You guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, hit that Taco Bell button. Y'all take it easy.